Racing was at Doomben on Saturday, where we had a bit of rain before the meeting started. Now, we were thinking that maybe the 1-2 lanes were going to be quite good because they hadn't raced in there for a fair while. But with the rain coming, as we suggested on the sheets, that you just got to watch to see whether this starts to cut up on the inside and it becomes a no-go zone in there. I think that's what happened. So we played it pretty much straight after the first race. We realised that was the situation, and we found a nice winner in the second race, especially to our Macbet audio clients who we were able to push them right into that horse. In the first race, this race wasn't run very fast, so a horse like Comachino all of a sudden had its chance to win, because we were worried about 2200 metres like it had a couple of starts ago, but it had a soft run in front that day, and it weakened on the line. Now again on Saturday it had a soft run in front, but it was gone pretty much as they straightened. A lot of the horses out wide came down the middle of the track and ran over them, and the sectionals were pretty good. So the leaders should have been able to kick on a lot better than what they did. So that was the reason why we were able to change our minds on the track. A horse like Mr. LeBrock, I thought it might have needed one more run over that distance, but the track played right into its hands. I Feel Good went good down the bottom. Was strung up on the corner and the inside part of the track, and then Lloyd got to the outside and it ran on better than anything. So it'll pick up one of these staying events for sure in the future. Emerald City, this type of track, it's got a real nice ping about this horse for a stayer. You know, it's right up in the weights with 59 kilos now, but this type of track doesn't really suit it, and it'll be fitter next time. If it can find a drier track, it's definitely going to be in the race. In race 2, this is the one we thought trial better than Optimum, Cabin Fever. I thought it trialled really good, and it's only had one start last preparation where it jumped well and just had to go back and got caught wide and just had given no hope and made ground down the straight. So the horse went really good, and it was $40, so it was just a nice result for us. A horse that we thought would go a lot better was Splitter. It's coming out of that Toowoomba meeting. Now, a few horses have gone okay out of that meeting, a few horses have gone ordinary. This is one of them that went terrible. Sat midfield in the right spot and just didn't really run on. The one down the bottom, there was plenty of money for Optimum, was on the fence, but gave up a little bit too soon for mine. Kuru Trace had the race shot to bits. I think it should have probably won the race if it was as good as what they think. I thought it was a touch disappointing because Cabin Fever was able to give it start and run it down, and they were both on the right part of the track. Calligrapher were very weak from Sydney. Race 3, Kandika did the job here. We got a bit nervous with this horse because it had the one gate and Damien Brown, and he's always looking for inside runs. Now, I was just extremely worried. He did what I thought he'd do, look for runs on the inside, and he was just lucky that the race wasn't run fast and it had a ping and it got away from a few horses. Our BB pulled too hard. They tried to ride it differently. I think it needs a spell. Siren's Fury went really good. She went back from the gate, gave him plenty of start, ran on in the best part of the track, but it's the sectionals that it ran were extremely good, and it'll be winning a race if it stays here, which I think it would over the carnival. Race 4, Toppy All Night Saint was very disappointing. It blew in the market. It was first up. Land Office had its chance, was in the right part of the track, loomed up, and just did what it does. It's always thereabouts, but it's finding it hard to put its head out. With the Promise went quite good for a horse that was out of its class. It was in the right part of the track, but as I said, it was out of its class. El Campeador, just well ridden by Byrne. Perfect ride. He just knew what to do on this track after the first. He got to the right part. He just pushed off the fence, came to the middle, and ran on quite well. I think the sectionals just helped it a bit, or definitely helped it. But it went quite good. Moment of Impact. It's another horse. It was 5 deep the trip. Now, the horses just can't sit 5 deep and keep coming. So the fence had to be off. That was another reason over race 4, you just kept on saying, well, you've got to be right. It's no good in there. We had a good bet on Say You Love Me when the track turned like this. Just got himself into just two-minded. He does this, Ronnie Stewart. If everything just falls the right way, he's not a bad rider. But when he's going to make a decision early, he just doesn't do it. In race 5, I thought the toppy into the red was very disappointing. Irish Constabulary, Lloyd was caught in two minds. He was in the inside. He did work out to off the fence. I think it was only the 1-2 lanes that were no good, maybe 3 lane. But he knocked up this horse. He was going to win and he just knocked up. Any Stride Needs a Spell, it was disappointing. High on Back went okay. It was running on quite well and then just bogged down on that inside part of the track. Sweet Serendipity, just a beautiful ride by Kathy O'Hara. Led, ping the lids. Led, rolled off the fence, about 4 off the fence and just kept going. Just a great ride. Precipitate was on the fence, but it was second up and was disappointing. And Round Mountain Girl, it ran on quite well, but on the better part of the track. Sectionals were good in that race, so it didn't go too bad, or it went a lot better than the 100-1, that's for sure. Race 6, Ringo's a rock star. The pace of the race, there's just nothing here. And what happened in these sort of races is when the jockeys start to think that the fence is no good, all the speed wide horses, they don't really need to push, or they think they don't really need to push too hard because they don't want to cross over onto the fence. So they're in two minds and they're all sitting there out wide, sort of pulling in behind because they want to sit 3 wide or be off the fence. And this is what happened in this race, that all of the speed dropped off and they only went about a length below par, I think. So whereas everyone, including us, were thinking it was going to be right on and that was going to suit Guard of Honour. Now, Larry Cassidy, as soon as his horse missed the kick, he was buggered. The horse was back in the field, the speed went off, he was in behind him, he couldn't take off because he would have been 6 and 7 wide and had no hope, so he was waiting for something to take him into the race and nothing did. So the horse went quite good, but he was just buggered after he was slow out. River Racer went very good. Again, Lloyd, come through the pack and the horse chased well. It was a really nice run, that horse. Tiratalani had perfect ride. Jay Byrne again rode the track perfectly. It's a risk next time. All Over Bossa Nova sat very wide and kept coming to the line. Again, it's one of those horses that were 4 wide. You just shake your head how they can do it, and you just got to keep on remind yourself that the fence was off. Cricket, number 13, had that really long spell. He was one of the horses that grabbed hold and he was midfield and just going nowhere and just plugged to the line. Race 7, this race was won by Single Gaze, perfect ride, Kathy O'Hara again. She's nothing flash in Sydney, but up here she just showed them how to do it. And she's a jockey that doesn't ride here very often and has come up here and rode as good as Jay Byrne. So she went forward. She knew the leader was couldn't get it, or she can't let him or let her get a soft run in front. She put a bit of pressure on her about 600 to 700 from home, and was just too strong down the straight. Come out to the right part of the track and was strong. The third horse, Can't Buy Better, we thought had a nice chance. Lloyd found the fence. I would have preferred him coming across and sitting on the outside there, 4th too wide and coming around, and he finished up having to go inside of him, and he just knocked up the last little bit. Probably he might have needed that run. He jumped up in distance, and I think he'll be better for the run. Brazen Moss went good. Sectionals really didn't play into his hands. He was back in the field and ran on. Did come in the better part of the track, but it went good. It's going well, that horse, and it's just going to find rock hard horses now that are probably a bit better than it. Race 8. Don't Tell Mama won this race. It wasn't a bad win. She got strung up on the inside there and came through about 3 off the fence, got away from him, and then Kuznetsova tried to run her down and just run out of time. It went pretty good, Kuznetsova. It was unlucky. Nothing took it into the race around about the 600 to 700 metre mark. It needed something going forward, and it would have been another track up behind him and would have won for sure and certain. She just, he didn't know what to do, Lloyd, on that one. He didn't know go forward or go back. He was a victim in that race, and he got pushed really wide on the corner and tried to reel him in and just missed. Shipwreck was in the worst part of the track, but went absolutely terrible, as it's just one of those gunners. Honey Holt, he went back to the inside, just the wrong place, went pretty good, and that's about all. So there's a few horses there to follow. We finished up winning something just pretty much because of the early races. We got stuck into that second one and the third one. Good luck, punters.